Hey, so good morning, everyone. I'm going to react to this video. This is the video of the police sergeant that was convicted of the young man in the Bronx, 3 to 9 years for the police officer in his role in this young man's death. Right? So I am going to play this video. I want to play this video of what happened, and then I'm going to make my comments. So let's get the video going.
Police filled the courtroom and the hallway outside. This is definitely resonating with law enforcement, but also resonating with members of the community and activists who say the right outcome happened. You could see tears coming down the cheeks of former NYPD Sergeant Eric Duran as his attorneys told a judge that he should not go to jail because of his role as a dad and mentor and his 15-year history of awarded police service. He'd been convicted of second-degree manslaughter from this 2023 incident that the judge said he'd watched over and over. Duran threw a cooler at Eric Dupree as Dupree rode away on a motor scooter after a $20 drug sale, according to the judge. The move caused Dupree to crash, killing him. In court, Duran apologized to Dupree's family, but minutes later, Judge Guy Mitchell issued a sentence of 3 to 9 years behind bars.
Justice for Eric Dupree!
Activists holding the hands of Dupree's mother and his life partner were jubilant outside of the courtroom from which Duran was led out in handcuffs.
She goes, I lost everything, but what I never lost was my faith.
Today was the first day that he looked at the family and said sorry. For me, I felt it was fake. Because you're going to jail.
But the Sergeants Union has hired attorney Arthur Aidala, who's got a record for getting major convictions overturned and sentences dropped. He said, this will be another one.
I think that is a horrible sentence. As I said, if he was a civilian under the same exact set of circumstances, I don't even know if he would be charged.
Duran's union says this case resonates nationwide.
Do you really want to put in the back of a police officer's mind that they can lose their freedom for doing their job and making that split-second decision? You don't want to do that.
Now, that 3 to 9 year sentence means that after 3 years, Duran would be eligible for parole, but depending on what a parole board decides, he could end up staying in prison for up to 9 years. His attorneys say they've already filed an appeal and hope that within a week to get a ruling allowing Duran to come out from behind bars on bail until the appeals process plays out. We'll stay on top of this right up to the minute as always. Right now, reporting from the concourse section of the Bronx, I'm James Ford, Pix 11 News.
So I'm gonna tell you this, how I feel about this topic, right? And I'm gonna tell you why I think that both family lost with this situation. So I want you guys to remember what started this, right? It was a $20 drug bust. I know people are going to say $20 drug bust, that's not a lot. But if this person's been doing it all day long, right? $20, it adds up. So we're not going to minimize the amount of money that this person was making. But I don't think this police officer willingly known that if he threw this cooler at this person, the outcome is what we're looking at now. I don't think he thought about that, right? I don't think he even thought about that. I just think he thought about trying to find a way to stop this guy from getting away. Now, we got to look at this two ways now, people. You're now telling the police department, or you're limiting the police department to do the same, to take care of these drug buses that the communities have been complaining about, right? Because this part of the Bronx, believe it or not, is known for drugs, known for homicide, known for gunfire, known for people walking on the block and losing their lives too. Again, I'm not minimizing this young man losing his life, but I want to take it a little bit further. Those gentlemen you see in the background, Let me see if I could go back and find them. Let me see if I can go back and find them. They are from Black Lives Matter, right? And these people, to me, are the worst of worst of the worst. They only show up. They only show up, right, when it's so-called a police officer or a so-called white person. But what's happened to the young lady, the baby that lost her life, 6 months and 7 month old baby who lost her life because, right? Because the
Police filled the courtroom.
because the two gang factions was at war. These two gang factions was at war, and the father was the intended victim, but the baby lost her life, right? These are the things that we have to pay attention to. But you know what? Who I didn't see out there? Black Lives Matter. So as long as it's black on black crime, then it's good. Everything's fine. But if it's a police officer or a white person, then Black Lives Matter, these politicians and all these so-called activists show up. Now, Black Lives Matter is in this video with the mother and the girlfriend or whoever she is. Again, I'm not minimizing anybody, holding up their hand. Black Lives Matter got $1 billion to help the community. So they could have helped this young man, right? They could have opened trade schools in these neighborhoods, right? Because these are the neighborhoods that are forgotten. So again, the only thing to survive in these neighborhoods, believe it or not, is selling drugs. Whether it be $20, like I said, it adds up during the course of the day. Trust me, it adds up. So these are the only thing that these young men are leaving the community to do. Black Lives Matter was given $1 billion, right? And one of the things they could have done with the money was open trade school, where they could have carpenters, masonry, electricians, plumbers come in and talk to these young men, and then make it to where all of these constructions going on in the boroughs, have the contractors hire these young men so they could have a better life. Instead, Black Lives Matter took the money and bought a mansion and expensive cars. So again, as long as it's a black on black crime, then your life don't matter. But as long as it's a police officer or a so-called white person, then Black Lives Matter shows up. So black on black crime doesn't matter. But a white person or a police officer, then it matters. So people, I understand this young man lost his life, but we cannot send the wrong message to people, letting them think that the police officer is going to go to jail if they're trying to do their job. Again, I do not think this police officer intentionally knew that if he threw the cool at this young man's head, this was going to be the outcome. I don't think he thought that. I just think he's just trying to slow this young man down, and this is what the result. But as far as the time he's getting, we're going to send a bad message to the police officers, the same ones that we're calling when crime happened. We're going to send a bad message to them that if they do their job, this is what could happen. Again, I don't think he intentionally threw that cooler, knowing the effect that this was going to happen. But let me know what you guys think in the comments about what happened here. And again, everyone, just be mindful of these people that call themselves Black Lives Matter, and these activists that comes out and say that they're here to protect us. They're only here to protect themselves and not the community. Because they could have done something for this young man. Trust me, they could have. They could have gotten these drugs out of the neighborhood and give these young people a chance. I have other videos where I'm talking about the same thing, that these young people do not have the opportunity or the chance to do something better because these so-called leaders do not look out for us.